It's been a while, but I'm back again because in the past few weeks, I've been busy with quite a number of things, and I've been thinking, why is it me that is being called to say this? Why is it me that I have to come and talk about modesty, decency, purity? But a verse within this season came to my mind, and it's though you walk through the shadow of death, I am with you. The shadow of death is sometimes crisis, sometimes even when you're in darkness. And the Lord said a statement to me, which was, you have gone through this path, you have studied it, and you know how it works. So it is time for I to go in and bring others out. And today we'll be talking about how it all started. I'll just give like a disclaimer, or should I say what I have noticed? Spirits do not care how old you are. Spirits do not care when you started. If you make yourself available, spirits will use you, be it darkness or light. But light tends to focus on adults, but then they leave the children, and Satan always uses the adage, catch them young. So today I'm just going to be talking about how I found myself in pornography. This edition is basically about pornography, how I came out of it, and should in case you know anybody who's struggling with this, how they can also come out of it. So I was 7 years old when I came home that day, and then I wanted to watch Tom and Jerry as usual, right? But I don't know if you guys know that DVD player years ago that anywhere you stop, that's where it's going to continue. So I just played the CD in it because it was white. And my Tom and Jerry was also white. I was 7, remember. But the scene that I saw on the TV was a man and a woman. So what basically happened is I'll come back from school after then. Put this in mind, I've never watched such kind of movie before then. But it seems like something was just pulling me. So I'll keep coming back and going back to that CD. But it was like a normal what's this, like, film is a normal film that has like sexual scenes, so I will always fast forward at 7 to the scenes that had the sexual scenes in them. So I think it was like how many months later my cousin realized that somebody's watching this thing, and said she wasn't the one watching it. So I remember she was just screaming that day, like, who is watching this thing? Mama, me, I didn't talk. Oh, small girl, I didn't even say anything, self, but she threw it away. So that's when it stopped at the age of 7 after some months. After some years' time, I had moved to a different location, and it has totally left my mind. But on this day, I sat next to somebody who's kind of related to me. I don't want to use names, but I'll just use like any name just so that you can follow the story. And then she sat next to me. Let's call her Felicia. Felicia sat next to me on the laptop, and then she wrote how to kiss. How to kiss? I've had this laptop to myself for a very long time, and I do not know I can watch such kind of thing. All I did was to play games. And at this stage, I was 12 years old, right? So I acted like I didn't know what was going on. Maybe to her, I was young. I didn't even see anything either. After Felicia left, I started engaging, how to kiss. And it was on YouTube. And on YouTube, you cannot pass a certain level except you show that you're 18. YouTube has like these soft scenes. So I used to watch it. So at 12, remember, there's Wi-Fi, there's free internet, there's laptops. So I had free time to, I think I was in secondary school at this point, maybe just as one or just as two. I can't really put a date on it right now. So at 12, at 13, I was still engaging YouTube. I think it was at 13, 14, I made a mistake, a big mistake. And then I wrote it on the web, on Google, how to kiss. So at this point, they showed me different websites, different websites. And I'll engage day, I'll engage night. When I come to the effect of pornography on the mind, you will see what happened to me. So at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I was engaging. At this point, I knew watched different things, right? But at 16, I was tired. I was honestly tired. There are days that I'm not interested. I don't want to do this thing. But it's as if something else now wanted me to do it. And this is when, but at this point, I did not know it was spiritual. But I will go off day one, day two, day three. When I wake up, it's like somebody is angry with me. And this is when the story of Moses now freeing Israel came to me. Remember when Moses went to tell Pharaoh and he said, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh was like, "For you to even say this, they are going to pick their straw." So on the third day, when I wake up, it's usually very intense. It's usually very strong. They can wake me up at like 3 a.m. and then all I do is engage. But at this point, I'll engage, I'll cry, I'll be very unhappy with myself, I'll feel disgusted, I'll feel like, what is wrong with me? But even when I was feeling sad, it doesn't really concern the spirit. That's why you hear things like, God is not moved by your tears. Obey. 16, in my pain, I was engaging. 17, still while crying, I was engaging. 18, so I'll do some time off, 3 days off, 7 days off. But there's something that Apostle Urpo will always say. He said, when you go to a nation and it is not where you're from, you count the number of days. So the days that I'm free, I'm counting. I'm counting that, oh my God, I did it for 7 days. I didn't engage. I'll be so excited. But then when they come again, I am back in and then I'm crying. So this is how it started. This is how I found myself in it. So what effect did it have on me? There are different people and how it works for them. There are people who tell you that they were hyper because they were engaging in, you know, those kind of movies. But for me, I wanted to be alone. I really wanted to be alone. I didn't like people invading my space. Don't visit me without telling me. My mind was really messed up because at the point of addiction, you get to a point where people are clothed, but you see them naked. you know, I remember I even had a friend then who was complaining that in public, she was in masturbation, right? So even in public, she masturbates because the spirit needs it at that time. She can't help it. No, but for me, I really wanted to be alone. I just want to watch. I'm not a fan of touching yourself because I feel like you're going to make the whole thing to end too quickly. That was the effect on me. I didn't care about relationship. I didn't care about opposite sex that much. Of course, I believe that if you had sleep with a man, you get pregnant. And I mean, I'm well satisfied by myself, so I loved being alone, But when I saw that this was really bad, was when I started thinking maybe I'm outside. I'm not even with my phone. I'm not watching anything, but my mind is creating scenes with the people around you know and that was when I met a priest, and I, of course, you know how they do it in Catholic church. You go for penance. I went for penance, and then I was told, do two Hail Mary, one Our Father, and say Psalm, I think Psalm 30 something. In short, when I did that, things as if it was even worse. The spirit was very angry with me. So that's how it affected my life. And most times I was depressed. I wasn't happy. I felt very bad with myself. You know, yeah, that was the effect on me. If as you're watching this series and you know somebody who has complained about them dealing with pornography or any form of sexual issues, just tag them, share with them, and we all have a role to play, especially women, in this end time when it comes to this. Because when I begin to break down the strategy of the enemy, you would realize why the Lord is really calling all of us to modesty. Yeah, to the next one.